Hey, what's up, Street Talks? Eric from the Eric Street Photography blog. So, I just want to give you guys a word of encouragement: is be a joyful photographer. So, I think in photography, there's so much pain and suffering in the world. We all know that, but I see photography as such a unique opportunity for us to be so grateful that we're alive, to be filled with joy, to almost treat photography like dancing, and the best way to stay inspired as a photographer is this concept in Zen, which is called beginner's mind. So there's a concept of beginner's mind is that every time you start off something as a beginner or like a child, you're so excited. There's so many opportunities, and this is actually why I like teaching workshops, especially more like beginner courses. That like everyone's so pumped up and excited. Whereas once you become more advanced or like a pro or an expert, then your mind gets closed off. You fall victim to expert's mind, where it's less about the opportunities, it's more about the restrictions. So for example, the curse of knowledge is, as a photographer, if you know too much of all the great photography that's been done before you kind of get discouraged, because you're like, all these people have dedicated like a decade or 5 decades of their life to make great photos. I'll never be able to be as good as them. So actually, as a beginner, it's good to be consciously ignorant of what other people have done, because just because other people have done it before doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, because when you try it, it's always going to be different. Can you imagine, like, you know, if you wanted to, you're Elon Musk, you want to start a new car company, everyone's like, oh, people have already tried car companies before in electric cars and failed. Should that have been something that deterred him from doing it? Or like Steve Jobs, when he started Apple, the PC IBM already existed. People shouldn't have, it would have been such a disservice to people's like, oh, you shouldn't start a new computer company because it already exists. So same thing in photography. Just because there's so much great photography out there shouldn't discourage you from going out there and shooting. And so I think, remember, as photographers, there's more opportunities than restrictions and boundaries. Think about it, there's like infinite amount of miles, street corners, people, opportunities, ways you could compose and frame a scene, so many different ways you could reorder your photos. There's so many exciting opportunities in photography. So I just want to kind of give you this video as a way for you to stay motivated, for you to stay inspired, for you to stay encouraged. I think the photography world and just the internet in general, it's kind of toxic, it's quite pessimistic, and there's not really too much motivational stuff out there. And I know, even for myself, when I spend too much time on internet blogs and YouTube and stuff like that, I kind of get more discouraged. I feel kind of shitty rather than feeling empowered and encouraged. So I would once again recommend you, when you go out and shoot photography, do it with a smile, do it with a grateful soul, and shoot like a child. Alright, have a lot of fun, guys. Peace out.